So nutrition in animals. Without wasting much time, I'll start what are the types of nutrition. I already told you what is nutrient. Nutrient is something that we consume for getting an energy as well as for the biosynthesis process. So nutrition we acquire in different form. Animals acquire in different form. Even plants like picture plant, it directly eats the insects. Even that acquire in different form. So coming to animals, there are three types of nutrition: herbivorous, carnivorous, and omnivorous. What is herbivorous? Like deer, which directly depends upon plants. There is no consumption of animals by the deer. So deer depend upon only on the plant, therefore it is called as an herbivorous animal. Coming to the omnivorous, which depend on both of them, animals as well as plants. Like we are omnivorous. Coming to the carnivorous, they depend only on the animals. So in nutrition in animals, it involves certain process: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and digestion. What is ingestion? Ingestion is the process that is involved in taking the food inside the body. What is the method that we use to intake the food? Either hand or chamcha or anything, but that has to enter into the mouth only. Okay, so that is the ingestion. Ingestion is the process where we intake the food. The process involved in intaking the food is called ingestion. In ingestion, we don't take directly, that is absorbable by the cells. Here in ingestion, maybe it's roti or chapati or whatever, these are not directly digestible by the cells. So there is a process called digestion. In digestion, what happens? Whatever the food we have taken, it is broken down into the smaller molecules that can be absorbed by the cells. So in digestion, it is a step-by-step process which I will be sharing video on that very shortly. It is a step-by-step process that is involved for digesting the food molecules to the smaller molecules so that the body can absorb. Once the digestion is done, then the digested food enters into the small intestine. Small intestine has a finger-like structures. That digested food will enter into the bloodstream through these finger-like structures. So that is an absorption process. Digested food is absorbed by the blood through the finger-like structures, projections involved in the small intestines. So once that food is entered into the bloodstream, that has to enter next to the cells. Cell is the main location where that food has to enter for giving us energy, right? So from the blood, the food, digested food is entered into the cells, that we call it as an assimilation process. So from the assimilation process, whatever the undigested food that comes out of this process, which the body doesn't require, that is thrown out of the body through the rectum, that is called digestion. So from the mouth, digestion process, absorption, assimilation, then comes digestion. So these are the 5-step process that are involved in multicellular organisms. So there are many cells that come together and make this functionality. We have how this body is made, how this multicellular organism is made. That is made out of cells, right? As I have said you in the previous videos, that cell is the basic structural and functional unit of living organism. Any structure and function of unit of living organism is done by cells. So cells, same function, carrying the same functions, come together and they form what? Tissues. Once the tissues are made, those tissues come together and they form organ. From organ, they connect and they form the body. This is all about multicellular organism. organism. Did you ever thought, what about single cellular organism like amoeba? How a single cell is doing all of their activities perfectly, neatly, without any disruption. This amoeba has existed before us and it is still surviving and doing the same process. Single cell also can live, If there is a movement inside the cell, only then we say it is living, else we don't say it is living. Remember this point which I have shared you before. So when it comes to amoeba, it has a finger like what say pseudopodia. We say that as a pseudopodia. What are these legs? They help in movement actually for the movement of amoeba. What does they do? They go to the food and capture it, and that will enter into the amoeba body. And there the food vacuole is created. Once the food vacuole is created, the enzymes are released from the cytoplasm for the digestion of that food. Once that enzyme acts upon that food, then digestion process takes place. After the digestion process, whatever the body requires from that digested food, it is absorbed by whole part of the body, and which is not required, it is thrown out. From which part it do not have a separate part to throw out. From any of the cell membrane, it ruptures and it moves out. This is how a single cell organism is making this process so neatly. Every activity by the single cell. So, these are the steps involved in the nutrition process. Once you understand the steps, one is ingestion, then digestion, then what? Absorption, assimilation, last part is ejection. In these 5 steps, we are going to read now the second most important step, that is digestion process. So, what are the steps involved in digesting? What happens in the mouth, then in esophagus, then in stomach, then in different parts of the body. Then how from that we get energy, we will read in the next video. From this video, what I want and help from you is, you might have seen many of my videos or one of my video, 2 of my videos. Now it is your time to make corrections in my videos, else I'll not become a good teacher. Because communication should be from the 2-way, then only it is a better communication. Maybe we are offline, online, that is secondary, but always communication should be of 2 ways. And when it comes to communication, in order to have an effective communication, you have to have certain skills. What are those skills? First one, you have to listen carefully what the opposite person is saying. Only then you will be able to understand what that person is telling, and so that you can encounter or you can put your points. The second one is, what is the second effective skill that is needed for the communication? That is write. Whatever you are listening, make sure you write in the form of notes or points that helps you for the next communication. And the third one is, be concise when you speak. Whenever you have a lot of content and the other person do not have time, or if also he has time, if you keep on telling the things without concise information, then that person may not come to you back again. And the fourth step, most important step, what is it? Body language. Body language is an expression of your mood. So make sure you keep the better body language when you're talking to somebody else. And the last point is, be natural, be true by your heart. So these are the steps involved in effective communication skills. So friends, before entering into the digestion, yes, I missed the point, I missed the link why I was telling you this. So you correct me and you can ask me what more things you need from our classes, so that we can make better videos for you people. And these feedbacks, we are always here to listen to you. This culture is not just maintained here, even in our class we have a suggestion box. If the student is unable to speak in front of me, he can put that whatever the written notes in that suggestion box. So this is the freedom that is given to the student, because if we go on teaching them and if there is no response from them, then there is no effective way of teaching. This is what we believe. and even I want every teacher to believe in this mode of teaching. Subscribe, hit like button and share your friends. Thank you. See you soon. Bye bye.